welcome to today's video. My name is Penny Larson. If you're a regular around here, this is going to be something a little different. I have been threatening, promising, saying I would do something like this for a really long time. And I finally want to start. I don't really know what I'm doing with this type of video, and so that's why it's taken me so long to get to it, I think. I think I need to just dive in, and hopefully I will get better at this type of video. So if you don't want to watch me but get better at anything, you can skip this video. If you're intrigued, let's talk. So one of the things that was really important to me, both growing up and then, nowadays as an adult, is people introducing new music to me. And I think I should do that to you, because I am still discovering music that I don't know, that I wish I knew earlier. Sometimes it's music that was, before my time. Sometimes it's music that I just missed while I was growing up. And sometimes it's music from now. And I don't really listen to the radio. I listen to Spotify mainly for students. I pretty much listen to the music I already know and like. I'm one of those old people. So one of the, I really think this getting exposed to new music thing is super important. Students are really great for that. A lot of times they'll show me stuff I've never heard before. So this is going to be the first of those type of videos. We are going to talk about Reb Beach, the guitarist from where. These are also going to be like, I'm going to try to keep these on the shorter side. I don't want to ramble. I want you to go listen to this music, right? So the first thing we're going to talk about is Reb Beach's solo record called A View from the Inside. It's right. It's right there. I should know what it's called. Did I mention I'm not good at this yet? So I have notes, I promise. So Reb Beach was, like I say, is the guitarist in Winger. He went to Berkeley in the 80s. He played with Fiona and the Bee Gees and Roger Daltrey and Alice Cooper and Dawkins. And it seems like his two big gigs nowadays are Winger still. I don't know if you call it a tour when they do like fly-in dates. They still do a lot of live concerts, and I believe they're like finishing up another studio record, which I've got to be honest, I've grown a little bit past the rock and roll kind of phase of my life in terms of like listening to that style of music. But Winger is an exception, and so I'm really excited that Winger is working on new music. I love Winger because of Rod Morgenstein. If you know me, you know that Rod Morgenstein is my favorite drummer, and so his rock band I'm gonna love. That only stands to reason, right? So I know Reb Beach as the guitarist who plays in my favorite drummer's rock band, right? I mean, that's what I have always known of Reb Beach. And still, when I heard last year that he was releasing an instrumental record, I was intrigued, because I know that Reb can play. There's enough stuff in Winger, both between the licks and the songwriting, and, which I'm sure the songwriting is like kind of this mad mishmash, as like band songwriting always is. But I'm sure his hand is in some of those licks and song credits. But his soloing has always been great, and just his playing, his tone is really good. His choices I've always liked. So I was really excited to check out this record. This is a great record. A thing that I am not going to do ever is, this is not a review space. I will not talk to you all about stuff that I don't like, stuff that you should avoid. I will not badmouth. I will not make fun of. I will not harsh on There's so much of that on the internet, and some of which I consume and enjoy, but this is not a space for that. I don't want to put any more of that on the internet. I want to put, hey, this is awesome on the internet. So, hey, this is awesome. It's a 10-song instrumental record. It would be very at home in the late 80s, early to mid 90s time period. It has lots of that Joe Satriani, Steve Vai kind of energy and vibe to it. And I think that's great. But yet it also, it sounds like it came out last year, and it sounds like it would have been perfectly at home in 1992, right? I mean, it's a really nice balance he's got there. There are two drummers on the record. David Throckmorton plays almost all the drums on the record, and then Robert Langley plays on one track. The drums throughout are great. Lots of grooving, lots of funky stuff, lots of driving, lots of linear fills, which are cool. The drums never step out, which, I mean, this is a solo record by a guitarist, and so the drums never, I don't feel like the drums ever take center stage, even for like just a second, which that doesn't feel horribly surprising for a solo record by a guitarist, right? The drums definitely find their space, and David Throckmorton especially, I think, it throws down a few points and really plays stuff that I think is great. I think if you're not listening to the drums, you might not notice the great that's going on. Some of that is just, some of what he's doing is really, some of the linear fills he's doing, I think he's doing stuff that is much harder than it sounds to like the average listener. I want to talk about a couple of the tunes, and then I'm going to talk about the album as a whole, and then I'm going to wrap because I'm trying to keep this short. So the first tune, Black Magic, is this, driving hard. It's the start of the album song. Reminds me kind of Joe Satriani's Surfing with the Alien. Really good tune, not exactly my, when I listen to instrumental rock, the hard driving rock stuff is like, it's cool, but that's not the stuff that usually makes me go, oh wow, this is amazing. The next two tunes, Little Robots and Aurora Borealis, are more that, hey, this is really neat. Little Robots has, it's a funky groove with some nice tapping, and there's a little keyboard riff that like floats over the top, and I suspect that's where the name comes from. But it's lighter, It's still a rock tune, but there's more lightness to it, and it's fun. Aurora Borealis is one of my favorites on the record. There's a intro where there's almost a dance between guitar and piano. There's a neat halftime section and some band hits under the guitar solo. This one, I think, is the happiest song on the record, or at least makes me feel the happiest. Reb, a lot of his melodic lines tend to have like almost a plaintive, bluesy kind of feel, and there's almost like a not exactly weeping, but a sort of sad tinge. Aurora Borealis doesn't have that at all. Towards the end, it's got one of those like building, oh my god, everybody's happy, and then it like fades back into the guitar and piano for the outro, mimicking the intro. Really great tune. I think this is my favorite. We get into some other tunes. They're all great. I don't want to harp on every tune. I do want to talk about two more. The second to last tune, Cutting Loose, which I think I would call the heaviest tune on the record. There's a few points where there's so many cool guitar lines happening like at the same time. It's just I don't even want to know how many overdubs he did. And it sounds so clean, and they're all supporting each other. And there are times when they're like you know, kind of dancing, and then there are times where they're coming together and almost sounding like one big instrument. It's really neat. And then the last tune is Sea of Tranquility, which has some cool like pizzicato strings, and it just is a really big, lush. This is the ballad of the album. It's a great way to wrap up the album, right? It's just beautiful. So talking about a few generalities of the record. Like I say, it could totally be at home in 1992. The production feels very modern. An interesting thing is that Reb played a lot of the instruments. He has, there's always a drummer. All 10 tunes have an actual drummer. But he played a lot of the bass lines and a lot of the keyboard parts. And you can really hear that this sounds like one artist's vision, right? And I think that's probably why at no point do the drums like really take center stage, is because this really is Reb's baby. I don't really say that as a bad thing. I mean, I'm a drummer, so it's a thing that I'm going to notice. I guarantee no one else is going to be like, where are the drums? Because there's cool drums. It's just, I don't know, there's no point where the drums are making me go, holy moly, that's amazing, right? So there's that. Overall, Reb's like tapping and the big soaring melodic lines. There are times where you feel like you're running or flying and dancing like all at once. A lot of the tunes have like a pumping eighth bass line and, moving keyboard lines. So there's a nice palette for Reb to play over, but it's not boring, right? It's not like a programmed part that Reb is just like soloing over, that's a drag, right? When guitarists do that. And so that's the thing. Even though this is, one man's vision, and you really get that, it has an artistic breadth to it. It's not, hey, let me program stuff. So there will be a link to this down below in the doobly-doo, both as I suspect, I haven't checked before I'm recording this video, so here's one thing to improve on. I suspect it's on YouTube as a playlist, and I know it's on Spotify. So Spotify link and YouTube playlist link will be down below. And just go check it out, right? Let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you have any things you'd like me to talk about. At first, mostly, I just want to tell y'all about stuff that I think you should check out. If you haven't checked out Reb Beach, A View from the Inside, I think you should. It's a great record. It's a really great way. To me, I'm really happy that people are still making music like this. It's really easy to feel like, oh no, everything is overproduced and no one cares about the guitar anymore. And yeah, fine, Reb Beach is older than I am. That's his maybe. But people are still making music like this, and people are still buying music like this, and people are still enjoying music like this, and that makes me so happy because I'm enjoying this music, and I want you to enjoy this music. So check out Reb Beach, and I will see you again real soon. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Bye.